David Darlington, Russell Walton, and Cody Eiler bring decades of experience, and their dedicated team provides follow-through, answering questions, explaining next steps, and staying connected as life evolves. DWE Generations, a generational wealth planning firm. DWE Generations is a marketing name for individuals doing business as representatives of Northwestern Mutual. Visit generations.nm.com or call 402-483-7871 and ask for David, Russell, or Cody.
Hey, Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, two-time national champion with Window World Lincoln. Are you ready to transform your home? We offer exceptional replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing that will elevate your home's curb appeal and value. As a nationally known, locally owned business, we treat you like family and work tirelessly to deliver the best for less. Don't wait to give your home the upgrade it deserves. Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or check out windowworldlincoln.com. Let's make your home the talk of the neighborhood.
Outside is where winter adventure unfolds. On frozen lakes, icy landscapes, and snow-covered slopes, feeling the cold air rush by as you race downhill. The freedom of gliding with ease and the warmth of being together. From epic sled rides to the fun of ice fishing, it's all right here beneath Nebraska skies. Start your winter adventure at yournebraskaparks.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game & Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
You started your business to build something special. Now it's time to grow and protect it. At Pinnacle Bank, our treasury management services help you do just that. Through smarter payment technology, account administration, and fraud protection. So no matter the size of your business, you can get the most out of your financial operations. Request your free consultation at pinbank.com/consult. Pinnacle Bank, the way banking should be. Member FDIC.
Imagine starting your day with a computer glitch that leaves you feeling stuck, frustrated, and unable to get your work done. You have 1,000,001 things to get done today, and waiting for the tech issue to solve itself isn't one of them. It's time to let Hamilton handle the tech so you don't have to. We help businesses across the state spend more time on what they do best and less time frustrated with office technology. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we're focused on providing custom solutions that set you up for success now and in the future. Connect with us today at HamiltonIsBusiness.com.
93.7 The Ticket is Lincoln's home for Kansas City Royals baseball in 2026. Catch all the action as Bobby Witt Jr., Salvador Perez, Vinny Pasquantino, and a pitching rotation led by Cole Reagans try to lead the Royals back to the postseason. That's Kansas City Royals baseball all summer long. On the air in Lincoln at 93.7 The Ticket.
Time for a new AC? Call Bryant. Get rebates now and lower operating costs every day. For comfort and efficiency, call 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Jump out of your starting block and into the coach's lane on 93.7 The Ticket. Join Nebraska Wesleyan swimming head coach Kyle Hunt for an in-depth look at NAIA swimming and beyond. Here's the coach's lane with your host, Kyle Hunt.
That is right. Welcome back to another episode here of the Coach's Lane with Nebraska Wesleyan swimming head coach Kyle Hunt. We got Rudy on the board here. How you doing, Coach?
Good, brother. How you doing, man?
Pretty good. We were talking about the weather out there a little bit. It's getting a little hot out here. I mean, you said it was how hot was it when you got in here? What was the number you threw out?
116 is. I go by the heat index.
Yeah,
because that's what it feels like.
Yeah, that's.
I saw somebody on Channel 8 took one of those temp guns. The brick for their building was 150, and then he did the mulch. It was 165.
That is insane. Yeah. Wow. And it kind of just comes out of nowhere. So yesterday, I mean, it was all rainy and gloomy. It felt good. Now it's atrocious now. But
you're used to it, right?
Yeah, sometimes. But I came up here to kind of get away from it. So that's the problem. I left Texas to get away from the heat. And now it still follows me. So it is what it is, though. But with some sports news, how are we feeling about that? You follow basketball pretty closely?
Of the big four, no.
Okay.
But I always have an ear to it. It's fascinating just watching the stars kind of move through the league and find the right mix. And, I was obviously around with MJ, but the LeBron sweepstakes and all this stuff, it's just cool to watch how these guys navigate this.
Yeah, absolutely. It felt like the commitment type of things where it's like, okay, this guy has all the hats on the table. Now you're just waiting to see where they're going. It's interesting. I think if I play like a lot of video games. And so whenever I'm playing like the my career versions, I'm always one of those guys who's trading from team to team all the time. So I enjoy when this is going on. I'm a huge fan of just seeing guys move around the league a lot. So it's been exciting. We'll get more into that. But before we do start diving into sports, I wanted to bring something up. Wanted to get your take on it. For those who aren't aware, me and Wyman talked about it earlier. We had our NWU swimming facility video come out, and that was a ton of fun being a part of. Actually being back on campus was super cool for me. But from your perspective, what did that feel like? How fun was that for you? What did it, from your perspective, look like?
I mean, honestly, dude, I think like just getting exposure for our sport. Every coach wants that for their sport. And obviously I'm quite passionate about swimming. I'm obviously quite passionate about Nebraska Wesleyan, and just to kind of showcase where we get our work done was awesome. It was a special treat with you guys in the ticket, kind of, rolling that out for us. And just kind of honored and blessed to be able to do that. I hate talking about myself sometimes, but I love talking about the team and the university.
Yeah, I know. I mentioned in the video, I was like, yeah, like a lot of the successes due to Coach Callahan. I saw you shaking your head over there, and that's again, like that's one of those answers or one of the reactions where it's like, okay, like that is what I hope a good coach would do in the process. It would have been interesting. I wouldn't have hated it either if you were like, yeah, it's all because of me. But that's always fun to see. I love that. I think that's kind of the Wesleyan culture too. Is just a lot of the coaches there, from my experience of the coaches I played for, at least, it's all always student led first, and it's what's best for us. Obviously, you're there to win matches, win meets, and win baseball games in total. But how do you kind of separate that between wanting to have a successful season, which is the goal, but also making sure the students are having the best academic life as well as the athletic life there?
So everybody's got pressure, and it's a performance-based results job. That's what honestly keeps me up at night sometimes is, am I doing enough? And if you get the right people in there, you just try not to screw it up, honestly. And the support system has always been there. So it's just, it's the best part of my day besides hanging out with my family. Yeah. Love you guys. But it's being with my team, with practice and the bus rides and the meets. So I'm just going to ride that as long as I possibly can. And I think winning helps keep that job going, So I do enjoy winning and swimming fast. So that's got to be part of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. From the baseball experience, we always have a lot of fun regardless of how the season's going. But when you're winning, it definitely, those bus rides to Iowa don't seem as long anymore. I definitely agree with those. It's always fun. But kind of tying this into LeBron now and the decision, a lot of the fans, including myself, I'm a Spurs fan, and the Spurs were kind of in the mix. Obviously, he didn't end up going there. He went to the 76ers. But that anticipation, do you ever have that when you're recruiting some of these kids and like, okay, like they're down to some certain schools, we're in the mix? How does that feel from the coach's perspective?
Right away, when I first got into collegiate coaching and had the opportunity to recruit, I probably put a little bit too much emphasis on the wins and getting the type of kids that we wanted. The success rate for recruiting is not good for a lot of coaches. And now, being into this as long as I have, they just got options, and it's ultimately where they want to go is the best fit. And if I got every recruit I went after, we'd have 500 people on the team. So, and at the end of the day, they're high school kids that are trying to make their best choice. And some of them move far away and some of them want to stay close to home. And what am I going to do? Be mad at them now? So, I do get really excited though when they say, "Hey, coach, I want to be a P-Wolf." So we do celebrate that, and it's like funny. Sometimes I'm in the car and they call me, or I'm, at my other job, or but they text me at midnight, and then I wake up in the morning. I'm like, "Let's go!" So I do get pumped for it. Don't get me wrong; it's not like I'm blah. But if they don't pick us, I just give them a virtual high five and say good luck.
Yeah, like that's good too. I think during my recruiting process, that was the worry of mine. Was like, okay, like these coaches, obviously I don't want to burn bridges, and that's not what happens when you do commit to a different school. But it's like, I think sometimes I was like, okay, like how is the other coach going to feel when I do decide that I'm not going to his school? And it's always interesting from the athlete's perspective, but also like that from the coach's perspective. I didn't realize that, at least to that extent, that like that other coaches, they still want the best for you, even if you're not going to Nebraska Wesleyan. They still want you to be successful to some capacity. So that's always fun. But what does recruiting trips look like for the swimming scene?
Yeah, so there's two main kind of recruiting seasons. There's the summer one. Right now, Midwestern Swimming is the local swim community that ties into USA Swimming. So club sports is And right now is their long course season. This is when you swim in a 50-meter pool. You're outside at Woods Pool. It's the Olympic-sized pool. Right now, our championship is going on down the street at Woods Pool.
Okay.
About 350 athletes. So this is the end of their championship season for the club state. It's got club state.
Gotcha.
There's another big one, which is called sectionals. That's like the next level up. That was a couple weeks ago in Missouri. And then there's another level, which is futures. And they all have to qualify for these meets. That one's in a couple weeks. I believe that one's in Des Moines. I may be wrong there.
Gotcha.
So this kind of end of July. August is a big one. And then the other one is the end of spring, which is state high school championships.
Okay.
In Nebraska, or girls and boys are in February. Iowa, it's totally different. The women are in the winter, so they're done in November.
Mm-hmm.
The guys are in the fall.
Okay.
Or sorry, other way around. Girls are in the fall, boys are in the winter.
Gotcha.
Other states, there's some in the spring. So it's pretty much year round. But
Right.
I try and hit in the Midwest. It's July, and then in like February.
Gotcha. And how? Because we at Wesleyan, we have a current player on our team who was a state champion in high school. How important is it because in baseball we hear it often, but for the swim side, does it have any weight when these athletes are multi-athlete sports, or for swim, do you want them to be strictly swimmers only?
Ooh. I mean, honestly, man, I think if they're a full-time swimmer, that's huge.
Okay.
There's the experience, there's the reps, the knowledge is there. But I was a multi-sport athlete.
Gotcha.
Wink, wink. They're that's going to play a role too, because they're going to be involved in a bunch of stuff. So if they're doing like track after the winter swim season, we just ride it out, let them do their thing. We've had some that maybe didn't have a high school program too, like South Dakota, North Dakota don't have high school swimming. So there's totally different. They're doing a bunch of stuff. We just roll with it.
Nice. And so at Wesleyan, though, y'all do have multi-sport athletes on the swim team?
We do. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
How is that? Like, what is how can you kind of make sure that like they are, obviously you want them to be successful in any sport they play, but how do you make them or help them hone in on the swim season like that? Or is it kind of just come with them?
Yeah, I'm really honest with them. First and foremost, whatever season they're in, they need to finish that before they join the other one. So if they're doing like football or cross country, which we've had, they finish that fall sport and then they join the team, which is usually like October or November. But I also tell them, listen, man, you can't get better at swimming unless you're in the pool. So they hop in like on a Sunday and they'll get a workout in. There's no coach there, but they're just kind of getting the feel back. So it's just like any sport. You can't be a good basketball player unless you take some shots,
Mm-hmm.
and you got to go to the batting cage, right?
Oh, yeah.
So if they can time manage it, which and you're in college and you're multi-sport, you're probably pretty good at that.
Oh, yeah. Nice. Yeah, I feel like that's something that Wesleyan, also just Division III as a whole, is really good at, is like allowing players to be multi-sport athletes. I didn't realize how when I was getting recruited here, how frequent that was going to be for a lot of my teammates. I have teammates who have played football, baseball, basketball. There were some guys in there. So it's always really cool to just see like that. The coaches are supportive of it too. So that's always super fun. But I know when we were talking about basketball, you said that it's probably the one that you follow the least out of the major four. What is the one that you follow the most?
So low key, I love NHL.
Okay.
I'm a huge hockey fan.
Nice.
NFL is probably 1B.
Gotcha.
I played baseball growing up. That was my love when I was a kid. So I do follow the MLB. I'm involved in everything. I love it all, but I'm hockey.
Gotcha. What are your teams for these sports?
Okay. So football, I was a Steelers fan forever.
Okay.
And then when my son, Owen, started getting, watching football, he was a big Lions fan because I had like Amir Abdullah and Ndamukong Suh.
Nice.
So I wanted to buddy up with him and be like, all right. So we've been Lions fans together. So I'm, kind of a duel, but we both
got a
root for
reason.
the Lions.
Yeah.
I like Spurs. I was always a Tim Duncan guy.
Yep.
Did you know he was a swimmer growing up?
I did. Yeah. Where's he from? The Virgin Islands?
Virgin Islands. Yeah.
I've heard the stories. Yeah.
So Spurs guy. NFL. Oh, I said that one already. Major League Baseball. I was an Orioles fan forever because I was a Cal Ripken guy, and then he retired. So I switched to the Brewers. I have some family from Wisconsin, so I like the Brew Crew. And then NHL, I'm Red Wings fan all the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get more into hockey now. I've noticed it's a big sport up here. Obviously, back home, I know we have the Dallas Stars, and we had like a minor league hockey team in San Antonio for a little bit. They weren't too good, but
I
think
see it live.
Fun. Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Game.
I've been to one Lincoln Stars game here in my time, and it was like $2 beer night. So it was interesting. It was super fun.
It's fun.
Yeah, but I love hockey now. It's one of those sports like that where I want to watch it more and understand it more. But even like that, if I don't understand it, it's super fun, super entertaining. So
yeah, you know why I like hockey so much is because I don't think there's any chance I could ever coach that.
Okay.
Just how they roll those lines out and how they do their shifts. And if it's like a close game, they'll roll shifts out, lines out like every 30 seconds.
Okay.
It's just phenomenal.
Yeah.
I just, it blows my mind. And then when you go to a program, some of those guys are like 6'6" defensemen, and they just take like 4 strides and they're down the ice, and it's physical and fast. It's crazy.
Have you ever played hockey?
No. My oldest brother did. We're, like I said, we were all born in Wisconsin. I was born in St. Paul, Minnesota. And when I was there, my oldest brother played. The high school I was supposed to go to had like a multi-million-dollar hockey rink for the high school team, North St. Paul, but I didn't get to lace them up for the competition at all.
Do you know how to ice skate at all?
I do.
Okay.
It's been about 30 years since I've done it.
Oh, nice.
But I think I can.
It's hard. Obviously, everyone knows it's hard, but like I'm good at roller skating, so I was like, oh, this is going to translate pretty well.
No,
it is not. It is very difficult. And so that's always what I think when I'm watching hockey is like, first of all, just moving on ice is insane. But then it's like, these guys just look like they're walking or running out there. Like, it doesn't look like they're on ice skates at all. And I think that's one of those things that I look for in sports is like, because I'm very delusional when it comes to watching sports. I'm like, oh, I can make that play. Or even I'll be watching the UFC and I'm like, oh, I could take a punch like that. I couldn't. But it's like, I watch hockey. It's like, yeah, those guys, they're doing things I could never do. And so I think it's cool to like hear the coach's perspective on that, how you're thinking about it from a coach's perspective. What, besides swimming, what other sport do you think you could coach like that to the elite level you're at right now at Wesleyan?
Oh man, elite level.
You get the tag there.
I like the running back position. I played that growing up. I was a fullback. I was about 30 pounds heavier. Creatine had just come out when I was in high school, so
nice.
we maxed out on that. Baseball, I love that. I was a catcher and third base, so those are kind of integral, into how the the field's running. And I don't think I could be elite at it, but I'd like to try it.
Nice.
See if I could be good at it. But at this point in my life, I'm gonna ride this swimming thing out.
There you go. Yeah. So how did you decide that swimming was going to be what you wanted to focus in on coaching on?
I think it was just working with the kids, trying to help them get better at being aquatic. We're humans. I've said that before. We're just not built for swimming. We're heavy bones and muscles. So just making them have fun and then making it easy for them, and just I kind of got into the science piece of it. And then you go to clinics and you watch the Olympics and you work with other top end athletes. You get better at it the more you do it. So I just was like, I'm all in. Trying to make it a full-time job. Took me 25 years, but I finally got in.
Now you're here though.
Yeah.
And so did you ever have you worked with like younger kids, like kind of like elementary age children? Have you taught? Yeah. Cause I'm only asking because I worked, me and my former Wesleyan teammate, we were swim counselors for a summer. And I didn't think it was easy. I didn't think it was gonna be something I was gonna go in there and master, but I was like, oh yeah, like I'll teach them what we're trying to teach them. But I think like that, like the idea of swimming is just so complex to some people, and it is very hard. Like it took me a while to learn how to swim as a kid, but I think like being able to coach a sport that you're in a whole different element for has to be very difficult. Because again, like you want to have the fastest times, and you gotta counter in so many different factors that running in track you don't have to counter in any of those. What are some things that you coach and harp on that many people like myself maybe don't even realize go into being a swimmer?
I equate it a lot to baseball, where you fail a lot.
Okay.
I mean, you can't drop time every time. It's just not going to happen. And so there's a lot of failure, which is interesting because when your team is winning, it looks like everybody's good, but there's been some meets where we've done really well, but there's a couple that are just like, this was the worst meet I've ever had. So I guess I just tried to make sure that like, if you can fix something each day, it can be anything. Maybe you go into batting practice and you're like, I'm going to go opposite field today. And that's what you just focus on. In the pool, we're going to work on an underwater kick that day. And just by focusing on that one drill for however many minutes, or if it's the full practice, then they know they got better at it. And we just got to make sure we're watching them too. I had some really good baseball teams I was on, but I never really got taught how to hit. I was fast and I could field, but I could never hit. And now there's so many more coaches and there's so many more clubs and leagues that I think kids are just getting better and better.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to take that into the college level is give them as much feedback, constantly just talking to them about this is how you can get better. This is how you can get better.
Yeah, I like that a lot because we saw it ourselves with the Wesleyan baseball team this year. Did not have a great year compared to last year. And I think one of our coaches, he was having a kid, so obviously he had to take some time away, which is perfectly acceptable, but it happened to be our hitting coach. And so just not having that like back and forth. And Coach Christie obviously was managing the entire team, so we couldn't just, hey, coach, I got a hitting question if he's trying to manage the pitchers. Like it was rightfully so, but there was times where not having that feedback was very detrimental. It was like, okay, like I know I'm popping out too much. I don't know why, but like I think the feedback goes a lot deeper than people realize too. So I love that that's a huge focus for you guys because again, for the athletes, it's like it seems like second nature to just go ask a coach, but then like that when they're not there or if they're not given the proper feedback, it can make all the difference in the world. So that's always interesting to hear for sure. But when it comes to again the athletes, because you said it's a sport of failure that at least in the process of it. Do you ever, because for baseball, I know something that always helped me was just going back to the basics, going back to the tee, doing just drills that my 12-year-old cousin's doing. Do y'all ever do that for swim? Like, do y'all just go back to the basics and try to figure things out? Or is at this point when they're in college, it's all just different techniques and complex stuff from now on?
Yeah, we try and build it in. Each practice is have some sort of drill work, some sort of fundamental piece. Fridays, we do a lot of kind of power stuff, explosive stuff, starts, turns, breakouts. It's good because it's away from, we get away from the aerobic, your pulse is pounding out of your head and you're low on oxygen and you're just maxed out. Everything is just effort. So there's a day or two where we just kind of break it down and just let's spend, 30 minutes on starts. Let's work 15 minutes on turns. And it does two things. One, it gives them a little bit of a mental break about just racing the clock. Now they're not thinking about the clock. They're not thinking about their time. They're actually trying to apply all the physical attributes in that specific drill. Like when you face a pitcher and the first guy is throwing gas, right? Like 95. And then the next guy comes in and they're throwing like 80, 81. It's an adjustment, right? So if you can take a break from just the monotonous aerobic garbage yardage is what we call it, and put them in some sort of drill work, they just eat it up. They just turn into sponges because they're like, oh, we're adapting now.
Nice. That's awesome. And kind of going with that as well, back to the failure and kind of like how to adjust from that. I would assume that once they get to college, obviously in high school, the way I've always described it is like, if you're good enough to play in college, obviously you come in here with a sense of confidence for rightful reasons. But whenever some of your athletes do maybe hit that failure point in college and whether it's losing a meet, whether it's anything like that, how do you kind of keep their mental side of it all on track?
I don't know. Just try not to be a jerk about it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can say names on here, but we had one girl as a freshman just not having a good year.
Okay.
Just fighting it. And then sophomore year had a great one and just kind of went back to the basics. And we just found that, her entry point on her catch was just off like an angle. When you enter the water, you got to go like a plane landing. It's got to be like your middle finger's got to go in first. And sometimes they go in like this and then they press out and then they come in. It's just a lot of stuff. It's you're trying to swim, right? It was just one little thing. And then it just clicked at a meet. It was the last meet of her freshman year at conference. She did pretty good and trained a little bit in the summer, kind of kept that going and then hit the ground running. So it took literally a full season of her being like, this sucks. What's going on? What's happening? And we just tried all these different things. Sometimes an assistant coach will come in and say the same thing you did, but in a different way. And they're like, oh, that's it. And then they love the assistant coach because they're like super happy about it. And it's like, all right. So yeah, it's just, the sprinters fail a lot too. Cause they that comes down to hundredths of seconds sometimes. So you just say, get back on the block, man. Just get back up there. It's going to happen. And it does.
Nice. That is awesome. Especially like that. Just get back up there. We always said in baseball too, like, so what, next pitch? And I feel like that's the very same sentiment. Like whatever happened, whether it's a bad call, the umpire just made a horrible call. You got 2 more strikes to work with. Get back in there and figure it out. So I like that. But when we get back, I got some more questions I want to rattle off for you here. Again, this is the Coach's Lane with Nebraska Wesleyan head swimming coach Kyle Hunt. Keep it tuned right here, 93.7 The Ticket, ticketfm.com.
When something breaks, you want someone you can trust to fix it right. Empire Repair is now open in Waverly and ready to serve our community with reliable auto repair and maintenance. From routine service to bigger repairs, our team is here to keep you on the road. Stop by Empire Repair in Waverly or call 402-786-2224 to schedule your service today. Empire Repair, proud to serve Waverly.
Where there's smoke, there's flavor, and there's plenty of that at the Smokehouse at Super Savor in Russ's Market. Award-winning, old-world recipes made in Lincoln since 1984 with many flavors and smoked sausage and brats to choose from. The Smokehouse has something special for every season. Brats and sausage for the grill, beef sticks and beef jerky for snacking, and smoked salmon, smoked turkey, and smoked hams for your holiday feast. Stop by the Smokehouse at Super Savor in Russ's Market today to fulfill your search for real flavor.
College football season is nearly here, and 93.7 The Ticket is on the scene to get things underway. Tune in Tuesday, July 28th to Thursday, July 30th for coverage from Big Ten Football Media Days at the Hilton Chicago as Derek Pearson, Jake Sorensen, Jay Foreman, and Austin Orman interview coaches, players, and broadcasters from around the Big Ten Conference. 93.7 The Ticket's coverage from Big Ten Media Days is sponsored by Warhorse Casino, Sandhills Global, Gary Michael Clothiers, and Ben Blaker of PRG Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Ambassador Real Estate.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
93.7 The Ticket is Lincoln's home for Kansas City Royals baseball in 2026. Catch all the action as Bobby Witt Jr., Salvador Perez, Vinny Pasquantino, and a pitching rotation led by Cole Reagans try to lead the Royals back to the postseason. That's Kansas City Royals baseball all summer long. On the air in Lincoln at 93.7 The Ticket.
MHC isn't a new company, just a new name. Moe's Moving is now Moe's Home and Commercial. Whether moving across town or across the state, MHC Moving has you covered, specializing in home, apartment, assisted, and independent living moves. MHC can handle your commercial moves as well. MHC Moving has 0 hidden fees. You'll never pay for same-day booking or be charged for stairs, heavy items, or elevator fees. Rates are the same Monday through Saturday, and you will never pay a truck or fuel surcharge. And they offer payment plans through PayPal. Call MHC Moving today at 402-853-7167 or go to mhcmoving.com.
When your business is ready for its next move, I'm here to help make it happen. I'm Corey Vandeweghe, Commercial Loan Officer at Midwest Bank on 70th and Pioneers Boulevard. Lincoln is full of bold ideas and hardworking business owners, and I'm proud to support the people driving that progress. Whether you're launching something new or investing in growth, I'll work with you to find lending solutions that move your business forward. Swing in anytime. I'd love to hear what you're building. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank, member FDIC.
Staying healthy and comfortable starts with the air you breathe. If you're noticing more dust, odors, or allergies, it could be time for duct cleaning from Bryant. Pure Air starts with cleaner air ducts, pair with enhanced filtration and purifications options, and the difference is amazing. When the air you breathe is clean and fresh, your home smells fresher and your family is healthier. Time for cleaner air in your home? Call Bryant for a free estimate. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. 467-1111. Bryant, whatever it takes.
At Raising Cane's, we hand batter every chicken finger, mix every cane sauce, butter every Texas toast, stir every slaw, and salt every fry. Because when you do it right, you can taste it in every bite. Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
Hi, Kendall Warnock here, owner of A1 Automotive in Seward. We're more than just an automotive repair shop. We're part of this community. Our mission is simple: serve people well, build trust, and provide reliable vehicle repairs at a fair price. From oil changes to diagnostics, major repairs, we're here to help keep your family safe on the road. A1 Automotive, 408 Main Street, Seward, Nebraska.
Here's the turn. Time to kick into more of the Coach's Lane on 93.7 The Ticket.
That is right. Welcome back to the Coaches Lane here, 93.7 The Ticket, ticketfm.com. Here with Nebraska Wesleyan head swim coach Kyle Hunt. Before we got to the break, I had some questions about the failure side of the game, and we talked about baseball, talked about swimming here. I'm curious though, when it comes to the failure aspect and to all of that, how much does I know it's been harped on plenty of times in the recent years of sports and in the sports world, but the mental health side of swim, and for your team and your athletes, how much do y'all talk about that, and what does that look like for the program?
We talk about it so much. We could probably even talk about it more.
Yeah.
The first thing I notice is body language. Okay. So big visual guy. And that's kind of where you start. And most of the time when an athlete has something that's not translating into the pool, like they're not working hard, or they're stopping in the middle of a set, or, they're just whatever, you can kind of tell their body language. Most of the time there's something else that has caused that. And the reason is, and I'm no expert, I'm not a mental health professional at all. I'm still learning as I go, but if there's something that's external, that's changing how they're practicing, that's kind of where we start. Gotcha. Because at our level, college athletes have done it so much that it's second nature. I mean, they can get in and do the hardest practice ever, and it's whether or not they get anything out of it. And it could be homesickness for some of our out of state, out of country kids. Could be a bombed test,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Could be a relationship thing. We just want to get to the point where myself, Coach Danny, Coach Ryan, maybe even Erin Dwyer in the athletic department. She's really good with working with athletes, and just talking to them as people, and just say, all right, we're going to put swimming over here. What's up? What's going on? And they just kind of go, and they say, if you have a culture that's allows them to be known, allows them to know that they're supported, they can, get rid of whatever's going on, or at least vent about it. And then they can get in the pool and get something done productive.
Yeah.
So I just say, if it's something serious, I'm like, don't even practice today. You're good. Go take care of what you need to take care of. Cause you're not going to get anything done except you're just throwing dirt on the pile. Yeah. They're just gonna, it's gonna make it worse. Cause in our sport, you can't get better at swimming unless you're doing it right, period. So that's how I play it, is like, make sure everything else is good on the outside, and then they can focus for 2 hours and we can get after it.
Nice. Yeah. That's awesome. I know Christy was the same way, Coach Christy, but when it comes to the athletes like that, if they are going through something, how often I would assume with the way you just described all of that, you have a pretty good relationship with these athletes. How much does that matter to you when it is, obviously, like I said, you want the best results. You want to go out there, win more ARC championships, and that will be the case. But when it comes to building the relationship with these athletes, how important is that for you, and what does that look like?
I just tell them, like I told you, it's the best part of my day. Why would they not get out of practice and feel the same way? It just blows my mind how there's demonstrative coaches or mean coaches. Now, if I don't like the standard that we've set and it's not being met, then we're going to address that. Because again, I like winning and swimming fast, and so do they. So that has to be on the table. But I just think, like, if they get done with the practice and they feel good about what they got done, then the rest of their day, the next 22 hours of their day, 23 hours or whatever, that they're good to go. And so I just make sure that we're high-fiving after practice, fist bumps. I don't like run off the pool deck because I'm like, oh, I'm done. See you guys later. We kids can come in and chat a little bit. My office is obviously always open. They text me nonstop, so just being available, because I love it so much. I want them to love it, but there's got to be some like natural things. I can't force it, right? Yeah. Can't force them to love it. They gotta get there.
Nice. And I want a Wesleyan question in here is what I'm going to call it. For those who don't know, because we have listeners from all over for sure. And if you want to be part of the show, 402-464-5685. What are your, from your coaching perspective and your time just being at Wesleyan, what are some things that people might not know about, whether it's the campus itself or the people involved, that you on like your daily basis are very appreciative of at Wesleyan?
All right. So one of the coolest things about our campus is our chef, Kyle.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So he knows everybody's omelet order. He knows people from 10 years ago. He still knows their omelet order. Like if alumni come in for an event and they're there for a breakfast, he remembers what they order for their omelet. That's so cool. I've never heard anything like that before, ever. He knows about how our meets went. He knows if so-and-so got a school record. Every time I see him at lunch, he throws a shout out every single time.
Yeah.
And me and Bobby, the women's soccer coach, and Brandon, we go to lunch, and Braden, the SID, or the athletic communications director or whatever, something like that. We go to lunch quite a bit, and it's just, I mean, you don't get that anywhere else, man. There's no way.
Nope. And we have a texter here, unknown texter 8998 says, Wesleyan student here, Kyle is the GOAT. I completely agree. I think that's always the craziest thing is like there's times where I probably got breakfast at the cafe at the Rot, whatever, probably about 20 times in my 5 years there. But the first time I went, he took it down. The second time I told him, by the third time, he was like, you're good. You're good. I'm like, all right. And then, he just yells, it's ready. And then you just get up and you assume it's yours anyways, but you go up there and he'll tell you if it's not yours, but he knows like down to the smallest thing. Like, oh, like I want cheese on it. He never misses it. It's crazy.
Yeah. Sausage, cheese, and green peppers.
Yeah.
I mean, how many, there's sure there's somebody that has that order, but he's like, he knows it.
Yeah. To just have it ready. It's crazy.
It's crazy. It's awesome.
Yeah. I think I know I'm not too sure what it's called anymore. I think it's called the Point now is what it's called, but we all called it the Rot. But I got our dining hall. I think people kind of overhate on it a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. I think there's some good food that you can find in there. I've always said that it's not too bad in there. People hate on it just to hate on it, but I'm a fan. Do you enjoy going to there, getting lunch with the other coaches at times like that?
Oh man, I love it.
Yeah,
I love it. It's all you can eat.
Yeah, that is true.
It's all you can eat.
They got ice cream in there. Yeah, you're missing out if you're not going to the Rot.
Now
another
point. So we're talking about food. Another secret is the Archway Cafe below. The chicken quesadilla. Have you had that yet?
I have. Yes, it's crazy down there.
It's huge.
They make some good pizzas too. And they have like a buffalo.
They make pizza down there?
They do, yeah. Buffalo chicken ranch pizza down there. That's my go-to whenever I'd use my paw points down there. Yeah, that was after baseball practice. Because again, we'd get out of practice. Even if we were practicing on campus, it was like, okay, we get out at 8. The cafe's closed already. I'd go down there, get a pizza, get a smoothie, and I'm good. So yeah, I would be at the Archway Cafe pretty often down there. We all would. It was awesome. But we do have another YouTube comment here from GBR Captain. Nebraska Wesleyan has got a lot of great people to the state, is what he is saying here. What can you say about that? Obviously, you've had some great athletes come in here and leave, obviously graduate from the program. What does it say about the people that Wesleyan has? Because obviously, many of us are here at Wesleyan. There's a large student-athlete population who come to play sports. But I feel like even just in the recruiting process of students, there's great people that kind of just come in, and it seems like everybody at Wesleyan's a great person. But from your perspective, what does that look like when some of these guys get here and the gals get here as well?
Well, the alumni connection is off the charts. Quick little story. We go to the University of Chicago in November for a mid-season taper meet. It's a huge meet. It's one of the fastest meets I've ever been to, and that's County Olympic Trials. And we stay at this hotel in the medical district. It's about 6 miles away. It's about a 45-minute bus ride to the pool, but we have food brought in. And we ordered from this restaurant, and this 20-some-year-old girl brought it, and she goes, "Hey, you guys with Wesleyan?" I go, "Yeah." And she goes, "My dad's a graduate from there." So a local pasta or Italian restaurant in Chicago catered to us, and the owner is a Wesleyan grad from like 1988 or something like that. And they comped us some garlic bread because we were P-Wolf.
Nice.
So in the middle of Chicago, random swim meet, and this person delivered, and I was like, that's awesome. And I swear not a week goes by where somebody's like, I went to Wesleyan.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think too, like, there obviously most of the people I meet like that all happen to be in Lincoln. I live here now, but still, it's like when people ask me like, oh, like, where'd you go to school? And I'm like, oh, I went to Nebraska Wesleyan. Like, there's always so much weight that gets held with that. But like, in a good way, obviously, it's like, oh, like you went to a very prestigious academic school, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I played baseball there too. And it's like, you can get the best of both worlds there at Wesleyan. I think that's awesome. GBR Captain also replied here and says that is a awesome story. So that's super cool. I mean, within some of those connections, are there any that keep in touch with you, whether they are above your time, or whether they are athletes you've coached too?
Yeah, I've had a few. The Keller boys, Crew and Braley Keller, swam for me in high school. Quinn did too.
Nice.
But he didn't swim in college. And I see those guys every once in a while. Braley just had a kid, man. Congrats. He didn't name it Kyle. I thought Kyle Keller would be a cool name, but that's all right. I'll let that one go. And then, just people around town that were alum. Most of them were swimmers that I still connect with. My brother played baseball at Wesleyan. He's a 91 grad.
Nice.
So he tells me some funny stories about those times. So
Nice.
when I see them, they're like, "Oh, you're at Wesleyan. What's it like?" And they tell me like, "Oh, I remember this dorm. It was, not air conditioned."
Yeah.
I was like, "You're an unk now."
Yeah. That is awesome. Yeah. And I love meeting like the former alumni like that, or former students, whatever, alumni. Like a lot of my friends that I meet here that are from Nebraska, many of their parents went to Wesleyan. And so like we'll compare like, oh yeah, like that building still exists. I still have classes in that building, but it's cool because they have like their version of it. And for us, it's like the dorm rooms are very renovated now. So it's like I have my better, safer version of it now, which is always fun to compare. But it's cool because even for the baseball team, we took a trip down to Dallas for our spring break trip. This would have been 3 years ago now. And the alumni works for like Globe Life with the Rangers. And so they gave us like a whole tour of the entire stadium. We got to see the World Series trophy the year that they won it. So like that. And that guy never met a single one of us. Our coach wasn't an alumni, but it's like that connection of just being a Wesleyan baseball player. Like it's always going to be there. And I think that's the best part of it. Because whether you're a student, whether you're an athlete, a swimmer, it's like we're all just honestly Prairie Wolves. I know some people are Plainsmen in the chat, but aside from that, like I'm super, it's a great connection to have. And I know you can have that at a lot of schools around the country. It's not to just say we're the only ones, but it's cool because it always seems very personable. And I've always said that with the professors too. The professors, I'm not just some kid that sits in the class. Like I've had classes where they actually forced me to move to like the middle of the class because it's like, okay, why are you sitting on the corners? And I'm like, you're right. But I think it's cool because that's just how Wesleyan is. Like everybody wants to be involved. Everybody wants you to be involved with them as well. And I love that. Like it makes it a lot easier for the students, and I'm sure it makes it easier for the athletes too.
Yeah, I think private school, you're going to make connections more closely than you would at like a big school like Nebraska, but it's global. I mean, it's the Wesleyan name is definitely national, and now it's more global. Cullen, one of my South Africans, his family's in town.
Nice.
They live in the United States now, but they're global now. They're like, my kid goes to Nebraska Wesleyan, and you can't say that about a lot of private schools.
Yeah, it's definitely it's an easy school to brag about for sure. And I think that's the best thing. Yeah. And I go back home, and my uncle, he back in San Antonio, all from there. He has a bar back home, like a barn bar, basically. It's like the metal dome, but it's all cut out. And it's like, he has a bar set up in there. It's great. And they have like flags of their NFL teams, the Spurs flags everywhere. One of my cousins in the Navy, so they have like a naval flag. But then between all of that, there's like a Nebraska Wesleyan flag. And like, he's proud about all of them. I'm not gonna say he's the most proud about mine, but he probably is. He probably is. But I think it's just super cool because it's an easy school to be like, okay, like I know someone that goes there, or I know someone that coaches there, or I coach there myself. Like it's an easy school to brag for, is the way I describe it.
That's a good way to put that. Yeah, I love talking about it.
Oh yeah, we could do it forever, and we will be doing it after this last break here on the Coaches Lane here with Nebraska Wesleyan head swimming coach Kyle Hunt. Keep it tuned right here, 93.7 The Ticket, ticketfm.com.
At Anderson Ford, we offer a 5-day return or exchange policy, so you can make sure the vehicle you choose is the best vehicle for you. No pressure. Right now, lease a 2026 Ford F-150 for $195 per month for 36 months. Experience better at Anderson Ford. Stock number 1009974, $195 per month, lease for 36 months with approved credit, 7,500 miles per year, 10,000 due at signing, no security deposit required. Tax, title, and license fees extra. Residency restrictions apply. Program subject to change. Must take new retail delivery from Anderson Auto Group by 8/31/26.
Graham Tire Company is celebrating 75 years of serving our neighbors throughout the Midwest. And to say thank you, we're giving you $75 in instant rebate on a set of 4 select tires during our anniversary sale event. You can stack on even more savings with big mail-in rebates on select tires from Goodyear and Cooper when you use your Goodyear credit card. And remember, all tires are on sale right now, making this a perfect time to upgrade for summer travels. Hurry in today. Graham Tire, your tire store next door.
Is there anything worse than paying for something that's done half-assed? You buy something, you want it to work, especially when it comes to your internet. When you're trying to stream a movie, work from home, or shop online, half-assed internet doesn't get it done. At Allo Fiber, we don't do anything half-assed. We offer 100% real fiber, and real human support that serves the community from the community. So while others may say they have fiber, in the end, there's half-fast fiber, and then there's Allo Fiber. Allo Fiber, internet built for you.
Back Nine Golf in South Lincoln is the premier indoor golf experience in the state. Back Nine Golf is open to the public with 24/7 access for members. Whether it's a range session to get accurate club distances, 18 holes with some buddies, or a one-on-one lesson with Back Nine's PGA teaching professional, their top-of-the-line full-swing simulators are there to help you lower your score in perfect conditions. Learn about Back Nine's variety of memberships today and see the facility for yourself at 7501 South 15th Street in Lincoln, just south of 14th and Pine Lake. Back Nine Golf, the premier indoor golf experience.
College football season is nearly here, and 93.7 The Ticket is on the scene to get things underway. Tune in Tuesday, July 28th to Thursday, July 30th for coverage from Big Ten Football Media Days at the Hilton Chicago as Derek Pearson, Jake Sorensen, Jay Foreman, and Austin Orman interview coaches, players, and broadcasters from around the Big Ten Conference. 93.7 The Ticket's coverage from Big Ten Media Days is sponsored by Warhorse Casino, Sandhills Global, Gary Michael Clothiers, and Ben Blaker of PRG Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Ambassador Real Estate.
Need service on your home air conditioner? Call the company Lincoln has counted on since 1952, Bryant Air Conditioning and Heating. No matter what brand you have, when you need service, you want Bryant's experienced pros working for you. Friendly, NATE-certified technicians with the tools, training, and technology to restore your comfort quickly. No matter what brand, when you need service, just call Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. 467-1111. Bryant, whatever it takes.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Your line just went down. Production stopped. A supervisor wants answers, and someone's digging through a binder for the maintenance history. Every one of those minutes costs money, and most of the time, that breakdown could have been prevented. That's where MaintainX comes in. MaintainX catches the failure before it happens. Preventive maintenance plans on every key asset to improve reliability. Work orders assigned and tracked right from your phone. Everyone from the floor to the front office is in the loop. Real-time dashboards give managers instant visibility into what's been completed, what's overdue, and where the bottlenecks are. No more guesswork. Just a smarter, faster maintenance operation. Companies on MaintainX have cut unplanned downtime by over 30% and save thousands on parts and labor every year. See what it can do for your operation. Try MaintainX free at maintainx.com.
Join Old School from 3 to 6 p.m. on Monday, July 27th from the U-Stop just north of Warhorse Casino for a special remote broadcast. Nebraska football's Luke Lindenmeyer will be there for pictures and autographs from 3 till 4:30, and U-Stop is having the Corvette Club bring their red Corvettes down as well. Plus, there will be a raffle for a Dr. Pepper tailgate, a signed Luke Lindenmeyer Dr. Pepper mini helmet and football, and other free Dr. Pepper merch will be handed out. That's all Monday, July 27th from 3 till 6 p.m. at the U-Stop by Warhorse Casino off of West Denton Road. Guys, if you're dealing with low back pain or trouble urinating, don't just live with it. These could be signs of treatable conditions. At Advanced Medical Imaging, their interventional radiologists specialize in minimally invasive procedures designed to relieve symptoms and improve your quality of life without major surgery. June is Men's Health Month. Take the step. Call Advanced Medical Imaging today to schedule a consult and find out what AMI can do for you.
We're not living in some perfect TV land, the kind where the sun's always shining and life's what-ifs just don't exist. Here in Nebraska, we live in reality. We have unpredictable weather and risky moments that mean you need insurance protection you can trust. At Battle Creek Insurance Company, we protect you with flexible policies for home, auto, farm, and multi-peril crop insurance. Hometown service for all of life's what-ifs. Contact your local independent agent and ask about Battle Creek Insurance. Better together.
Hey everyone, it's Brie Marie. Join me and James Rowland every Sunday night at 7 p.m. from April through August for The Finish Line. We'll do laps around the headlines in dirt track racing, let the rubber meet the road for NASCAR news, and talk with special guests, including your favorite local drivers and racing personalities. That's The Finish Line, Sunday at 7 p.m. all summer long on 93.7 The Ticket.
Here's the turn. Time to kick into more of the Coach's Lane on 93.7 The Ticket.
That is right. Welcome back to the Coach's Lane here with Nebraska Wesleyan head swimming coach Kyle Hunt. You got Rudy Gress the fourth on the ones and twos over here. Coach, we got a question here before we went to the break, but saved it for after the break so we can have some time for it here. Got a YouTube comment from Brandon B. I believe we know who that is, but he says, "What is it like helping bridge the cultural gap with your international students and your American students?"
Excellent question, Coach. Well, I've mentioned the mission first team always thing, and they just bring something different to us.
Mm-hmm.
And so would somebody from Iowa, and so would somebody from New York. You know, they're going to bring different outlook on everything, food, training, you know, their stance on politics, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And that just goes into the pot. And that's what molds our team into what it is. We don't shy away from what they like, what they don't like. It's just a part of being an adult. You know, you're gonna run into people that you've never met before, and they're gonna have different views. But when they all kind of jive together and things marry well, and then it just takes off. In fact, you'll get a trip to where they're from and get a little international flair. So some of our athletes have gone back to Italy or have gone to Barbados, you know, and hung out with those guys. And that's life, man. Go out there and experience cool stuff.
I think that's one thing I wish the baseball team did a little more. Obviously, there's not a bad thing about it either, but like on the baseball team, many of the guys were from the Nebraska/Midwest area. And then you had me and my Hispanic roommate both from San Antonio. So like we had to learn a lot of the culture here, but it was super cool like that. Like, I mean, our diversity brought in a new perspective for them too. So I love that. But when you do have maybe like that, an international student, we talked about it a little bit during the break, kind of when they first get to Lincoln, what are their thoughts and how do you get them to understand what's going on here in Lincoln?
Well, they're a little like, you know, okay, where some of them obviously don't have motor transportation. And you know, some of them just like have a certain hairstyle. You know, Kai's from Barbados, and he's like, who can cut my hair? Yeah. So I had to take him to a place called Burke's Fades. The Burke's family went to Northeast, where I was a teacher at. So just helping them, like, where do you go get groceries? You know, where I have to go to urgent care, I'm sick. You know, somebody has to give them a ride. You know, so it's just making sure they're supported and taken care of if they need it.
Yeah.
And then after a couple of years, they just kind of do stuff on their own and then help the other internationals that come in because, hey, I did it. You know, maybe it's a ride to the airport and back.
Gotcha. Nice. Obviously, it sounds like you wear a lot of different hats on the team here, not just in the lanes or at practice, but obviously, like you said, like outside, helping them kind of just in life for the most part, which is a great thing. What has been one of your favorite things? We'll wrap it up after this question here. What is one of your favorite things about the multiple hats you wear just across all the boards here?
Just makes me feel like I'm doing my calling, you know. 1998, I was coaching for a team, a club team in town. It's no longer around. And the coach at the time got fired. And I was just a 21-year-old kid. And the board asked me to be, what if I was interested in being the head coach? And I was like, I don't know, man. I'm 21. I'm finishing up school right now and having a good time doing that. And this other kind of dad on the team was like, Kyle, you'll never be a head coach because you didn't have any collegiate swimming experience. And that was it. I was like, yeah, right. Watch this. So it took me a while to become a full-time head coach. But during that process and that journey, it's just way more than being just an X's and O's training coach. It's everything. Maybe being a teacher helped too, but you know, I'm a dad, I'm a brother, I'm a, you know, authority figure. I'm a psychologist. None of those I do well. They're just there sometimes. And you got to be like, okay, this kid needs the best I can give them. So I just try and do that. So it makes me feel like what I'm doing is worthwhile. I think coaching is one of the greatest professions out there.
Oh yeah. Nice. GBR captain here says, little did that person know who he was talking to. Not too sure.
That's right, man.
What are we getting at? What did I miss?
He's talking about that guy that threw shade at me.
Oh, yeah. Look at you now. ARC champion
yeah,
of the building.
ARC champ, baby.
Who would have thought? With that being said here, Coach, we are going to wrap things up on the coach's lane here. Anything you want to get out, anything you want to send the people with to end their 3 to 4 o'clock hour here on 93.7 The Ticket?
Hydrate, wear some sunblock. It's hot.
Oh, my God, yes. 114 is the high tomorrow on that index.
Oh, gross.
With that being said, thank you all for joining. This was a great hour here, Coach. Thank you, as always. This was the Coach's Lane here, 93.7 The Ticket, with Nebraska Wesleyan head swimming coach Kyle Hunt. Keep it tuned right here for more Wesleyan hours after this.